Today, we are going to unbox and review the brand new Zoom H3 VR right here. This is a 4-capsule VR microphone that captures first order ambisonic, and it can be used as an essential environment track for your third order ambisonic production following this tutorial. Besides the amazing built-in feature like the auto level and auto direction detection, directly record into just one micro SD card without the need of 4 different XLR cables and an external recorder that can be very expensive, and the live monitoring with Biono for headphones, all the amazing feature you already know. H3VR directly export ambisonic B format and ready to be synced and edited inside Adobe Premiere. I will show you the quality comparison between the H2N right here and the H3VR so you know why you need that upgrade. And most importantly, I want to show you how to capture VR audio with the professional VR cameras like the Insta360 Pro 2 right here. From setup on set all the way to post-production. From monitoring and align audio with visual with the brand new Adobe Premiere Pro CC 2019. There's a lot to cover, so let's dive right in. So now let's unbox the H3 VR together. So in here, we have the instructional manual, and let's open the plastic cover. So in here, we have batteries, the main component, which is the H3VR right here, so you see. And then, very important, the airflow then put on top of the H3VR to block wind when you're filming this outside, very important. And then one extra thing that I find is so cool is this little arm, if you can get it out. So this little arm, I think, is very cool to come with it. So what it does, you can put this on a monopod or tripod and then put the H3VR bottom or top with the 360 camera, so you can have a full body capture system. Really important. And it's a really simple package. That's all you come with the H3VR. So now let's go to how to use this on a real set. Now, let's talk about how to set up the H3VR with a professional VR camera, as you see right here, the Insta360 Pro 2. You can put any professional 360 camera up here, including the Canon Obsidian, the Zcam, the Google eHalo, the Samsung Round, and etc. So I will try to keep this part as general as possible. One thing you need to know for sure is even you get the perfect alignment during production, the north or the front of the camera might move during the stitching stage, especially you are shooting stereoscopic 3D 360 and you are using Mistika VR to do fine stitch. That is why I will teach you how to align it in Premiere in this tutorial, so you have an ease of mind that you can fix it in post, especially you are not on set. I would never trust the DP align it correctly. 9 out of 10 situations when I have the stitched footage, the alignment is off. For the Insta360 Pro camera, including the Pro 1 and the Pro 2, as you see right here, if you are shooting mono, I will align the LED display, which is the true north of the H3VR, to this lens, which is lens number 3, as I labeled it right here. So you can align it with the true north of the camera. The true north of the camera is actually on the other side, right there, on lens number 6. So that is how you should align. But for stereoscopic, I will basically just simply align the LED display with the battery compartment right here, and that will give you the true north if you're shooting stereoscopic footage. What the official H3 VR tutorial is showing you is using it with a consumer camera like the Ricoh Theta, which is very light. Professional VR cameras are very heavy. The extended arm that comes with the H3 VR is made with hollow plastic. So if you put weight like the professional camera right here, the Pro 2, and the recorder, it will basically bend like so. So the camera and the recorder is not gonna be level. So that is why I put in a flat platform that made with reinforcing steel right here. This is just a regular DSLR extended platform I use to do most of my professional product shots and unboxing video. You can use any metal or solid support to reinforce the plastic arm come with the H3 VR. Then there's a gap between the plastic arm and the platform. I simply put 3 quarters, as you see right here, to give the arm some extra support to keep it perfectly level. And then you may ask, how do I know if this is level? And that is why I have this bubble leveler, put it in right here to make sure this system is perfectly level. And then you ask me, why even bother to keep this system level? Well, for stereoscopic 3D production, it's actually very, very important to keep your camera and your spatial recorder perfectly level so your viewer is not getting sick when they watch your video in a VR headset. Okay, now let's talk about my setting of the H3 VR right here. So go ahead and move this into the power button to turn the H3 VR on. As you see, it's on right now. Hopefully you see it. As you see, even it's upside down. When it detects, it will actually flip the screen. And as you see right now, if you see this right here, the alignment dock is actually perfectly aligned with the camera. As you see this arrow pointing the true north of the H3 VR, and this north should pointing at the true north of the installed Galaxy Pro 2, which is the LED display, which on the other side of the camera. You can't see it right now, but right now it's pointing the true north. And you see this light levels. Can tell you like what is the recoil level. You can always adjust the recoil level from right here. To adjust the recoil level, as you see the recoil level going up and going down. It's very simple. And then when you're ready, you can just hit this big red button right here and start recording. And right now it is recording. As you see the timer right here and indication right here is recording. Hit this button, the stop button, to turn off recording. And then let's go over my setting of the H3 VR. So go ahead and hit menu right here. And then first go into the input and output. Continue hit the play icon. They'll go in there. I usually add a low cut right here. I will show you. And the low cut I usually do is 80 Hertz. And that will cut out all the noise like the air condition noise, wind noise, and all the low rumble that you don't need for your audio to keep your audio clean and less noise. So that's I always do to put in a low cut right here. Okay, let's confirm that. And then the next thing I will do is to put in a limiter. Let's go in there. In the limiter, I usually just turn it on. So you just make sure your audio is not clipping, especially when you're in a concert and in a really loud speaker area. You don't want to clip to destroy your recorder. So make sure you turn it on. And then if you monitor with the Ambisonic, you actually go in here and pick stereo and binaural if you like using a headphone to monitor if your recording is aligned to the true north. And that is usually my setting on the input and output. So let's go back. And then in the my position, if you go in, I usually just pick it as an auto because 9 out of 10 scenario, you will get so much going on and you forgot to set this. I will just let the H3 VR to do this job for me. And then in recorder setting, I always set it as record mode right here. And MBX, that's a B format Ambisonic, a first order Ambisonic, and that is what YouTube and Facebook will take. So that should be your format. If you are a game developer, you can use Fuma, and if you are somehow just want to get the raw audio, you can use the Ambisonic A. or stereo if you don't even care about ambisonic. But in most scenario, you want to pick the Ambit X. So let's go back. And that's it. That is usually my basic setting of setting up the H3 VR for filming. And you only need to do this one, and next time you turn on, you remember all your settings. So now let's take this whole setup outside of my house and let's record some ambisonic audio together. So right now we are outside of my house. As you see, this whole setup right here is the Insta360 Pro. On top of it is the H2N, and the bottom is the H3 VR. And very importantly, you see that I'm using the recommended monopod for me. It's the Bushman monopod. This is a very steady monopod, and I highly recommend you use that. And especially when you put this whole setup, the weight point is on the right. So you want to put a sandbag over on your left leg, it just give you more balance. But because this monopod is so solid, you actually can get a really level reading from this whole setup. So now let's go ahead and test the ambisonic audio of this whole setup. Import everything we just recorded into Adobe Premiere. The advantage of using a B format ambisonic microphone is we can directly drop the WAV files into Premiere and it will work. There is no need to jump into a third-party digital audio workstation. But if you are very serious about audio, please use a digital audio workstation like Pro Tools or Reaper following this tutorial. For those of you just want to stay in Premiere, this part you should really pay attention. First, in 2019, it's easier than ever to listen to ambisonic audio within Premiere. Here is how. First, go ahead and click the toggle VR video display on. Second, right-click the video. Look for VR video. Make sure enable and show control is on. Next, this is brand new in version 2019 in Adobe Premiere. Hit this wrench. You see right here. Now you can directly monitor ambisonic. You don't need to add the Biono VST plugin in Premiere in here anymore. So go ahead, if you default is unchecked. So make sure you check that. Now if you go ahead and play the audio. Well, now go ahead and put on your headphone as well. So you put on your headphone. You can hear right now the audio is actually go around you. Now it's on your left. Now it slowly go onto your right. You can even hear me step on the grass right here. So now you can actually hit in front of you. I feel panic like that. So now I'm behind the camera. Listen. And you should hear voice coming from behind you. Yeah, the voice comes from behind the headphone if you're wearing a headphone. And now it's on my right. It's right here. So that is how you monitor spatial audio directly within Premiere. Make sure that before you render, turn this back off just in case. Okay, now remember that when I mentioned when you receive the audio and video, 9 out of 10 scenarios they are misaligned. So how do you align them in post? Also, it's very simple. Go ahead. This is the track right here for the H3 VR. This track is actually perfectly aligned, but let's assume that this one is not aligned, it's misaligned. What you're gonna do is go into effects. In search, you can type in Panner, and you'll see Panner and ambisonic. Just drop this in to the H3 VR track. Now go to effect control. Now you can effectively pan the sound source in here. If you open that by degree, so you can see the degree right here. You can mesh the degree. So you basically play the audio and start playing around. Listen your headphone. It's going from left, from left, you should hear a voice coming from behind you if you do not turn your head. So hopefully you can hear that. That's how you pan the audio. Also, this is very important. Do not use any 2D audio effects from Premiere within your H3 VR or H2N Ambisonic audio. Those plugins do not understand multi-channel audio. If you need to adjust the gain, put in a limiter, here is how I would suggest. So in traditional 2D audio, you usually, let's say that if this track, so if you see the level is too low, usually what you do is right click, go into audio gain, and you will try to normalize or peak to let's say 0 dB or minus 3 dB, or you normalize max peak to minus 3 dB, whatnot. Don't ever do that because those are for 2D audio. You will mess up your spatialized audio because Premiere doesn't know or understand multi-channel ambisonic. That is why I keep saying that if you're serious about audio, do your post-production in audio in Reaper or Pro 2 or hire somebody else to do it. And then Sam go with all this effect right here, like multi-band compressor or limiter on EQ. Just don't use any of it. Make sure it's none. But you do see that I effects right here. Okay, so if you want to stay within Premiere for your H3 VR Ambisonic audio post-production, here is the plugin I would suggest. Go to Blue Ribbon Sounds, and they have this free, yes, again, free audio VST called 038 Core. Have all the effect you need to handle Ambisonic. And this is absolutely necessary if you want to work with the H3 VR audio within Premiere. So go ahead and download that for Windows or Mac. And then to adjust gain, I will not even touch the volume slider. I will basically use the H3 gain. Again, if you download it, you will under your VST, under surround effects, Blue Ribbon Sound Limited, 038 gain. Pick that. Play the audio, rise the gain, low, low. Okay, now it's seriously clipping. So, alongside with gain, you will need a limiter. And here is another company I would suggest to check it out, but this one is not free. It's by Noisemaker, and they make a limiter called Ambient Limit. As I have right here. And you can put a limiter right here to make sure your audio is not gonna clip. Go to VST, go to Spatializer, Noisemaker, Ambient Limiter HD, turn it on. Make sure max peak output in minus 3 dB. And then rise again. See, right now, even really loud, we are not seeing the red bar, we are not clipping it because we have the limiter right here. And another thing I want to show you is, beside the pan, again, if you are iffy about Premiere to handle multi-channel ambisonic audio and don't want to even use the panner, you can also use the free Blue Ribbon Sound effects right here. They have this effect called rotation. If you open that, you have the exact same panning, pitching, and rolling of your 3D sound. So see, I can do that. Hopefully you can hear the audio go from left to right. Okay, you get the idea. The reason why I would suggest this VST, again, is free, is because they are designed to handle spatial audio. Also, you cannot really hear spatial audio in a 2D review video. So to really hear the quality difference between the H3 VR, the H2N, and the onboard Pro 2 microphone, please watch this 360 video on my Facebook page instead. Yes, not the YouTube version, because YouTube is not the best player to hear spatial audio. the best way is to go download the video, link on my YouTube description, and listen inside your Oculus Go headset with a flat response headphone, not your good-looking Apple Beats by Dre headphones. I just don't want you to be laughed by the audio professional. Also, I want to give a very special shout out to Abish from Facebook, who helped me to level all 3 tracks in Reaper so you can really hear the audio quality difference within headset. Well, we cannot hear the quality difference, but we can see the quality difference inside Premiere. Let me show you. So right now, this track is the H3 VR. So pay attention to the meter right here. All four of them are sending signal. Now, let me mute this track. Now, I turn on the H2N. Pay attention right here. You see, track 3 is empty. There's no track 3. Now, go ahead and listen to. Mute this, unmute this, the Pro 2 onboard microphone. Listen to it. You also see the track 3 is empty. So track 3 is actually the high info of the spatial audio. So both H2N and the Pro 2 onboard microphone would not record high information. So they are not really an actual real ambisonic microphone. And that is why one of the big reason why you need the H3 VR microphone. If you get a chance again, watch that video on Facebook, but pay attention on my feet when I walk across the grass area and you see my feet hitting the grass. This sound is really come from my feet. But if you listen to the Pro 2 and the H2N, you see that the whole soundscape is all mushed together. You just hear left, right, front, and back, but not top and bottom. The last thing we gotta talk about is how to render all this audio file and upload it on Facebook, YouTube, and the open web. It's very simple. Just go to Premiere, go to File, Export, Media, and then do your usual setting on the video side. Again, if you have any question, go reference to my other tutorial. But this one, I want to focus on audio. In audio right here, make sure you choose channel 4. Default is stereo, so make sure you choose 4 instead. And also on here, the audio is ambisonic. Make sure it's checked. So this will output a 4-channel first order ambisonic for YouTube, Facebook, and the open web. And then just go ahead and hit export. Thank you for watching this H3 VR review and setup tutorial for professional VR filmmaking. In the next video, I will show you in VR 360 in Oculus Go headset how the first order ambisonic worked compared to the H2N and other ambisonic microphones. You will be impressed how good is this $350 microphone sound inside a VR headset. You can even hear the high information, which you cannot in the H2N. I will also show you the advanced audio post-production techniques on how to turn the H3 VR first order ambisonic into third order ambisonic for Oculus Go. So you can really impress and immerse your audience to the next level. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell to keep up to date. If you like this video, please give me a thumb up to support your boy Hugh here to continue making awesome VR tutorial content to up your game in VR. And I will see you next time, VR Creator Level Up on Creator.